Hello. Hello. Aki, you're not going to say hello?
Oh, hey.
There we go. There we go. There we
I
go.
thought you were doing the intro thing.
Oh, I'm going to do so. Just, we got to give some, hello, some greetings, you know? It's
Oh yeah.
always polite, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good, good, good. So, hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, or whenever you're watching this, and welcome to the first episode of the Sir, This is an Interview show, where I, the host, Him interviews VTubers, big or small, on who they are, how they became VTubers, and how VTubing impacted their lives. VTubing being where a person uses a virtual avatar generated by computer graphics as an aesthetic. Just want to double check if okay. I have to double check if my mic is on. VTubing being where a person uses a virtual avatar generated by computer graphics as an aesthetic to do anything they want online. But to tighten the show's scope, we will be focusing on the content creators and streamers. We might include artists from time to time in the future. We'll see. Now, here we aim to abide by oral history methodology, so expect some chronology or ask or questions asking when X occurred, and narrative structures. But if we are everywhere with everything at once in this session, then so be it. Halfway through the interview, we will be pulling community questions for our interviewee right here. So, watchers, think long and hard for that, and be wary to keep it within chat roles found in the description below. Finally, there is also if there are VTubers that wish to come on to the show to share their stories, send a message to the email also down the description below or found on this channel's about page, and I'll see to schedule you in. I'm actually going to need a physical calendar to help me with this. With the influx of VTubers I'm getting right now. The only qualifications, however, is as of now having a model. This can either be a rigged or a PNG model or any type of 3D model. Just have some computer graphics, please. Level of following and experience in some kind of content creation, whether it be streaming or prepared content. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to the interview. Today we are interviewing Akihiko Morisawa, or Aki for short. Oh, Aki, Father's Day was on Sunday. How was your Father Day? How did you spend your Father Day?
I was on a collab with a horror streamer. So that was pretty fun. We talked
A horse streamer?
horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about scary stuff.
Oh.
Yeah,
Aki,
so
is your father scary?
that's yes.
Oh.
Dude, what he spent 30 years in the military, was an army ranger.
Mm-hmm.
He could kill me 9 ways with just a napkin, you know. He's a scary dude. Like
Napkin,
some
you say? What about a
Oh
paper
yeah,
towel?
oh yeah. Growing
Is that
up,
8 ways or 9 ways?
some people talked about oh yeah, I got in a fight with my dad, and it's like that wouldn't even be a fight. It'd just be a one-sided ass kicking.
It would be a slaughter, in short.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I could not take my dad in a fight.
Mm-hmm. So, now, Aki, how can you introduce yourself to the audience? What's your content like or plan to be?
My name is Akihiko Morisawa, as he stated, and I'm a bit of a shut-in. I'm not really a big fan of what people might call the great outdoors. However, my mom said I need to get a job. I'm 34 years old and I can't really live like this. But I didn't really want to leave the house, so I decided to stream instead. My content is mostly focused on a variety of things. But for now, I've started getting my feet wet. I'm playing video games and such, and looking to, continue that as my default content. However, I do have some collabs in the works, so that should be rather fun and entertaining.
All right. Outside of video games, do you have other hobbies?
Um, well, not only am I a VTuber, but I am also a big fan of VTubers.
Yeah. I see you have a Project Melody exclusive PNG body pillow.
Yep,
Yeah. Good.
put that away.
Damn, son.
It's
Where do you find that?
trying to remember what the keybinds are.
Oh, you're forgetting your hotkeys.
Oh yeah,
Hmm? You got any anime figures with that pillow?
yes I do.
All right.
I got one of Yuki Nagato from from the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
And just to give everyone a visual reference right here on the screen on the left side, right under the chin, the chinny chin chin of Aki right here. Ow. Ow. What? Ow.
This is my figurine. Cost me $150. I think I got ripped off. I'm not sure what it's supposed to cost, but that was really expensive, and I was like
Are you?
simping hard for Yuki at the time, and like I was young and dumb and had some money.
I got you. Nebo, our alerts are off this time, or off this stream. I hope. Yeah, it's off. Okay. Anyway, also, what's that body pillow made out of? I heard like a big clunk. Is it, is it made out of like cotton and like the fluffy stuff that you put into thing? Because like I don't think pillows are supposed to do any like mic hitting or something or some sort of
No,
like noise like that.
I was going for realism, so there's a body inside.
Oh, I see. The authentic body pillow
Yeah.
experience. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be you know, it's got to be full of something. It's got to feel like the real melody. So you know, I may have taken a hiker or two and stuffed them in there.
I see. You hike?
But like I said, if they enjoy the great outdoors, they deserve what happens to them. They could have been mauled by a bear or something,
But
you know.
instead they get mauled by you.
Yeah. I mean,
Alright.
it comes with, you know, has a risk. What anime is my all-time fave? Ooh, that's a tough question right there. Personally, I would have to say the only one I can really like sit there and say, "Oh, I watch this over and over and over," would be like Girls in Panzer, because that is always my feel-good anime. That's like if I, you know, that moe stuff, you know, the cute girls doing cute things. I can just watch that and it's like, oh, my day's better.
So before the stream we chatted a bit per the good thing per the good course of action when before an interview. But how and when did you start VTubing?
I have actually just started. I started Saturday. Last Saturday was my debut, the 17th. So I am still very new to this whole streaming thing and still trying to kind of get used to it, get my feelers out, you know.
Oh,
And
so you're a little greeny boy.
Oh yes, I am very green.
As green as a stream bean. Gotcha. How many hours do you intend on working as a VTuber? Per week.
I kind of I'm hoping to kind of probably quite a few. I mean, I'm sure as I get used to streaming, but I'm hoping to one day reach a point where I'm streaming almost every day.
Streaming every day. All right. You're trying to aim for that like 350 a week.
Yep.
350. Gotcha. And I understand that you described yourself as a simp before you actually started VTubing. Probably are a VTuber simp right now, as indicated by that melody pillow.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I have the simping has gone nowhere.
mm, what is your favorite part of being a VTuber simp?
Uh, I'd have to probably say the best part of being a VTuber simp is definitely the community.
Oh, can
You
you
know,
describe that? Can you elaborate?
um, well, it's we all have we come together with we have some common ground and we make like memes and stuff about the VTuber, and often and more often than not, some of my favorite VTubers such as Chibidoki, um, Fillion, the memes about the VTuber are not very flattering to said VTuber, but
Wait,
done out
not
of
so.
love.
Wait, not flattering. What does that mean?
Oh well,
I know Fillion. Fillion being like a white fox V VTuber that is like a bundle of
that
chaos.
always falls down and shows her panties and is
Yeah. Flashbangs.
yeah
As their as the community and videos put.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she will actually censor her own stream on her stream.
Uh,
Like whenever she's watching a Fillion montage, she will actually censor that
mm,
because and yet she does it continuously. She'll like have three flashbangs before the video even begins, and then she'll start watching the video and there's a flashbang because there's always one.
uh,
And she'll be like, "Oh my god, don't look."
ha.
And it's like, are you aware of like you do this shit all the time? And then Chibidoki, she's just a gross, disgusting furry that nobody likes.
Yeah, Chibidoki. I don't know that one. I'm gonna quickly look that up, but later. But
She's basically uh she's a degenerate and take away the Y chromosome. Like take the most degenerate weeb you can think of. Like for example, she has a hard on for Bowser of all people. I mean,
oh
I'm not sure
oh,
what her type is, but
I'm looking at the model. Ugh,
yeah, I'm not sure
terrible
what her
taste.
type is. Yeah, I'm not sure what her type is, but it's certainly nothing attractive. It's if you're ugly, she may have a thing for you. If you're ugly and yeah.
Oh, the ugly bastard tag. Gotcha. In short,
Yeah, but the thing is, she feels they are attractive. Like it's like normally the ugly bastard, it's all about corruption and being like that. But she actually thinks, oh yeah, this is hot.
well, then
Like no
again,
one
Bowser. If we think about it, Bowser is kind of hot. The
in the
amount of power
yeah,
that he has. No,
maybe
not
that's
even
it.
just in the movie, and not even because Jack Black is voicing Bowser in the Mario movie. But no, I mean he's pretty big.
I
Let's
guess.
say, yeah.
I guess she likes big dudes. I'm not
I
sure
mean,
why,
I mean,
but
I,
whatever the reason, I won't even begin to try and probe the depths that is her mind.
I mean, I'll bang a dragon. Anyway, now who was your modeler? What were the main inspirations to your model? Like, what kind of like references did you like send over to your modeler?
Personally, I mean, I kind of went the cheap route the route that I could afford. I went on Etsy and tried to find a decent model, and I found this one. And eventually, kind of looking at the model and my own insecurities and bringing those out, I kind of made my own little I made the model and the backstory. And so, I mean, if you wanted to, you could go on Etsy right now, and for $60, this model could be yours.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
wish
hmm,
I wish I
that's
could get
interesting.
I wish I had one of the big expensive ones, but this is all I could afford.
No. What I'm uh are I recall like last year there was like a uh there was a model that provided like a wide range of app options that you can just like um use VTube Studio slider for to like make it a little unique, but it's pretty much like the same clone VTuber, if that makes sense. Would you say that your model right now is still on sale, or is it like a one-time purchase on Etsy, and then the artist or like the marketplace owner doesn't sell it again to another VTuber or potential VTuber?
No, it is still on sale. You could go in there
Oh,
and if you know someone could buy my model, be better than me, and then make $1 million and have their fans attack me, accusing me of trying to rip them off. Yeah,
ah, Attack of the Clones, huh?
you get what you pay for.
Hey, 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 hey! If you're going to start out, might as well start out without as much risk as possible. I mean, my model is free, or was free. I just needed to download a software, play with some settings, and boom, my model is my model.
Hmm.
So low risk and such. What exactly? What did you want from your design, or what you want from a model while you were like scrolling through Etsy?
I mean, if you look at the designs on offer on Etsy, I just wanted something that looked halfway decent. You know,
Hmm?
I wasn't really interested in being a femboy.
I mean,
You know,
your model is primed to be, but I'm just saying. But mm,
but I wasn't really looking to pursue that appeal. You know,
I got you. What is exactly? I mean, like, how was the experience purchasing the model? Was it just like a immediate sort of like a Amazon online book, or is
yeah,
it just okay?
short and sweet. It was just you go on, if anyone wanted to do it, you just go on to Etsy, and once you pay the money, they give you a download code, and you
Mm.
download the model, and then you just plug that into.
Th- so there was no like communication with the seller or artist, in short.
Correct.
All right, $60 for a pretty decent model right here. Oh,
Do you
oh.
think that YouTubers? Hold on, we got a question. That
Oh
maybe.
no, no, oh no, we can put it off for after this section. That's actually, yeah. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
so the VTubers don't put in the money or put in a lot of money towards the model, but don't get the following. Yeah, I would say. I mean, I'm not really sure if that's a thing, but I'd say some of the people, they just have a terrible personality. And I mean, whether you get you a nice model can't fully carry a stream. I mean, you could go pretty far with a nice model,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah, I do call in
because
some.
there are some terrible streamers out there who just who are just leading this toxic army of white
Mm,
knights. So, that obviously isn't going to happen unless you're of the female persuasion.
all right, everybody. Hmm.
Sorry to derail the conversation.
Oh no, don't worry, don't worry. Um, you mentioned that you were looking for like an aesthetic or some sort of like expression in your model, right? Uh,
Hmm.
could you could you explain or elaborate on that a little bit, or like explain um
I would
what
say
yeah what's the
I
reasoning
was
behind behind this aesthetic or this look that you're going with for your model?
It was kind of I was going for someone who was, downtrodden. Like oftentimes you'll see um in VTubers, everyone's like, they have this fantasy like upbeat, very very positive um portrayal of their model. You go there, I guess, to feel good. I was wanting to kind of subvert that there and say, yeah, this is, a guy who's been kicked around his whole life, and he's I guess the average VTuber simp, you know.
The VTuber sim? Hmm?
Yeah, it's he was a guy that's been kicked around his whole life. He wasn't the chosen prince.
And how was that relatable?
I think it's not everyone can be, the chosen hero of their own fable.
What's your fable?
Well, I start a VTube career and get no followers. As far as I can tell, that seems to be the current course.
Is your fable solely that of no advancement?
Well, unless I
No
keep plugging
progression?
away. I mean, nobody knows what the future can hold.
No, of course, algorithms. I mean, a good chunk of people's success online is like either gradual growth or luck.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's kind of a thing I'm gonna have to, I've accepted that this may be a complete dead end and I never go anywhere with it. And I'm not gonna lie to myself and try and pretend, oh yeah, I'm gonna be as big as Iron Mouse uh or Project Melody or Fillion. I'm gonna be this huge streamer that everyone tunes in to watch, and it's like more than likely, statistically, you're no one.
Oh, a lot of people are no one. I'm a no one.
Yeah.
And but I think it was like a. I think I remember seeing like another VTuber talk about this, but about like Iron Mouse. When Iron Mouse started, I remember he being like a nobody too.
Yeah.
It just it took time and a lot of circumstances. Let's be honest, 2020 was a good time for VTubers.
Yeah,
Let's just say.
it was a good time to start VTubing, but at the same time, trying to, if you couldn't just buy a model off Etsy,
Oh yeah, yeah. It
so it
was
was
a
tough. It was definitely a big risk to get into VTubing at the time.
it was a very yeah. It's a big risk for a still um a recently discovered niche, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. So, what's your okay? I asked what your favorite thing about being a VTuber simp is. What about being a VTuber? Your your favorite part of being a VTuber? Even if you are still green, the only stream that you did was like on Saturday. Pretty much just how do you
But I also
feel?
had one on Sunday. Don't
Huh?
forget that one. That one,
Oh,
that one
you
actually.
have us. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You had two streams right now.
Yep.
How were they?
The first one exposed a lot of problems and stuff I didn't uh quite get right. The second one was a little bit better. It was getting better. It was, for example, like when you're playing a game, you don't realize just how long, you know, it passes a lot faster during the game. Like for
Mm,
example, I thought, whenever I was on my debut stream, I was playing Resident Evil, and I thought that I paused for 30, 20 seconds max. But no, I go back to rewatch it, and it's like 2 minutes, and there's like a non-committal. Oh, there's that, and then it's another 2 minutes, and it's like, yeah, this is terrible. And
Would you
so
say?
whenever
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And so, the next day, whenever I was playing Only Up and slowly losing my mind due to unending rage, uh, I was able to, learn from that, and I talked a lot more, was a bit more verbose, and so hopefully it will only continue to get higher quality.
Well, of course, it's a learning process. Would you say that you were pretty much what you learned then will definitely be applied later?
Yes.
All right.
I mean,
Good.
there's only one way up, or
Mm-hmm.
it can only go up from here.
Do you have any worries, like in the hypothetical that you do, like see some growth? Will you feel like you'll be worried about any like stagnation in your um channel's growth or channels like spread among the eyeballs of the internet?
Personally, one thing I would like to have is to get big enough to where people are like regularly posting in my chat. I do love, that's probably the thing I'm looking forward to whenever it comes to VTubing, is the ability to sit there and have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those that just go on Omegle and actually use it seriously. Have a
Oh my
conversation with a stranger.
God.
Is that how you pronounce it? Or
I think it is called Omega. Yeah, yeah, Omega. At least from what I've always like heard. Unless
yeah.
it is like a Bernstein Bears kind of issue where like it's actually it's Omegle because the creator had a beagle or some sort of arbitrary reason
Yeah.
like that, you know. But no, you're pretty much like your current goal. Would you say your current goal is just to get like a handful of regulars that you can like bounce off of during stream?
Correct.
All right, all right. What do you say? Have you ever planned? Do you have any plans on doing like any collaborations?
Yes.
All right. What are those collaborations going to look like?
Um. Well, I have. I think I have two. I think I have one in the works with Uno, and then I have another with an AI streamer,
Oh.
which hopefully those go well,
Mm-hmm.
and those materialize. But I also have another one I've already done, at least one collaboration with Treyall the Mad, I believe his name is.
Trail the Mad. Could you
Or
provide like
Treyla.
Trayla the Mad? Could you provide a PNG real quick of the model or like who they are?
I believe this is how it's spelled. I typed it in chat. However you pronounce that.
And I'm just going to quickly put that into my search bar.
Yeah.
Trayle.
That was
Trayle.
the horror stream.
Oh. So, have you ever hosted a collab, or have you been like bouncing off of other VTubers in collaborations?
I've been able to host my own, but I mean I've only had one, and so it's not like a pattern quite yet.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to do during your collab streams? Like, what kind of games are you enticed on playing with people? Horror games,
Those
by chance?
co-op games you never really get to play because you don't have any friends growing up.
I see.
How many times have you looked at a multiplayer game and be like, wow, that'd be nice if I could use that functionality.
Oh, yeah, social games. are
Yeah.
always better with the social people, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, because they are multiplayer games, and for the most part, they are multiplayer exclusive. Whoever
Yep.
whoever did a solo run of Monopoly, am I right?
Yep.
At least the table doesn't get flipped at the end. Huh? Huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. However many friends you are, that many less with Monopoly. I've heard.
Exactly, exactly. Have you ever heard of this thing called like advanced Monopoly?
No.
I think it was made by like this guy, this YouTuber called like Fish Sticks or however you pronounce it, and it's practically like there's like a one there's like a big board with 3 rows of like 3 rows of the standard Monopoly properties, and
Mhm.
then there's a uh smaller board with the same thing, and you pretty much get transfer back and forth between them.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks fun. It looks aggravating as well. All right.
Uh, Anything else? Or
Hmm. Not really. I think we can now move on to chat inquiries. In this section of the session or in our interview, we'll be asking y'all to ask your questions, like as many questions as you can provide as of now. Um, and we will have Aki here, talk. Actually, I forgot something one more time. Let's put that on hold, please. I'm just going. I need to ask one more question, if you don't mind me, Aki, because my paper is long and I need to include every little thing. Why did you go into VTubing?
good question.
Why?
I would say probably like it's personally it's probably to deal. I know a lot of VTubers that go into VTubing due to financial reasons, but personally, I am disabled. I'm living
Mm-hmm.
off the government, so I don't really, it's I'm not gonna sink or swim based off of the income. However, I uh, I do need something to do. Like sitting at home in front of your computer, just wasting away in front of it is just, I mean, that's like no way to live your life. And
Mm-hmm.
so I really want to, have something productive I can focus my time towards.
Uh-huh.
You see what I mean?
I see. You mentioned in our chats that you have epilepsy, correct?
Correct.
Could you explain that away and dispel a popular myth around surrounding the disorder? I do know that one involves a full moon inducing seizures, which, if you think about it, it sounds pretty like stupid.
I mean, that's true.
What? The full moon inducing seizures?
Oh
Or
yeah.
oh, is it?
Yeah, well not really. But
N- wait. Really? Not really. There's no concreteness, or is it just more nuance?
I mean, isn't it a lot more interesting if it is kept a secret?
Oh, it's a secret. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
But
The
in
epileptics have a secret
reality,
society now.
when
Yeah.
it comes to what causes seizures, I think if you had just, if something was just um if it was just, oh, it's your seizures are caused by this, or yeah, if then you can just stay away from that stimulus and you'd be fine. Like for example, one big myth is that it's caused by strobe lights. And strobe lights are easy enough to avoid in your day-to-day life. So all you need to do is you avoid strobe's life and you can have a perfectly normal. But the reality is that whenever you have epilepsy, seizures come completely for no reason and completely without warning. It's, that you're just, doing something, whether you're driving a car or operating heavy machinery, or, you're holding a baby, or whatever you're doing, it could happen at any time. You just suddenly start having a seizure. And whatever happened, I've been in, before they took my driver's license away, I managed to end up in two um, very, very bad wrecks because of having a seizure while behind the wheel.
Mhm. When were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed at age 14. I remember I was playing. I was actually able to, normally, I'm the only one in my family who really likes board games. But that day, I remember I was able to rope my sister into playing Risk with me. Um, and I remember at the time, the thing I was most upset about was the fact that I had actually ruined the Risk game because I had seized out on top of it and scattered all the pieces to the four winds.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, you hear it, folks. Board games cause epilepsy.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
yeah.
Don't play Risk.
Don't play
It's
Monopoly. It will.
Don't play Risk. It's a risk.
Exactly. How would you describe your form of epilepsy?
Mine is it's I think it's called complex partial.
Complex partial. Could you
Yes.
elaborate on that a little bit? I can look up. I could Google it a little bit. But
I
as
I
I
could no, or maybe is it tonic clonic? I do
uh,
know it. Basically what happens is it starts off in a little spot and then it
mm,
spreads throughout the entire brain. My entire brain is having a seizure. And that leads to what's called grand mal.
mm,
I think that's tonic-clonic seizure, grand mal seizures, where that's whenever people think of a seizure, that is, the you're on the floor, your limbs are shaking, you're making weird noises, that's the type of, seizure everyone thinks of. But a seizure can also be like, for example, anything from as something as mundane to like you lose sight in one eye, to maybe you kind of phase out for a couple seconds and then come right back.
uh,
But no, mine just like it's my day is pretty much shot, and the next day too, because it basically, because everything's firing at 100%. It just like my muscles are sore.
mm.
Whenever I come out, I can't remember anything. That's one thing people forget about amnesia is you don't just forget like everything. You also forget how to talk. Like that's a skill you need to learn and remember how to do. So when you can't remember it, you just sit there in silence.
You said that you feel like a little thing before a full seizure is it happens. I do recall there being such a thing called like an aura, where
Yes.
it's a like semi out of body experience or a recognition of like the signs that will be happening later. Uh,
Hmm.
what would you describe that as? An aura, or what is it? Just like a recognition of something.
Auras are kind of something that like it may be coming on, but
Mm-hmm.
seizures kind of tend to come in two flavors. They're the ones that give you or whenever it comes to my seizures, sometimes I'll have an aura and I'll be able to get to I have medicine and a little device that can stop a seizure before it starts.
Uh-huh.
By giving the brain a real big shock, it kind of negates you actually hear one of the ways. I have something called a vagus nerve stimulator.
Yep. You did mention that in our chats beforehand. Chat. I will provide you with a little diagram right here. I might actually need to increase its size real quick, just so people can see it a little bit better. It's going to be on the left corner for a bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and explain away what that is for
It's like
the viewers.
it's kind of based on the same thing as a oh, what's the thing called? A pacemaker.
Pacemaker.
It's a big battery that sends an electrical signal, except for instead of sending it to the heart to keep pumping, it sends it to the vagus nerve, which is a nerve that goes, directly to your brain. And so it's able to deliver a zap directly to your brain. And it mostly works. It's you have a it's part of a kind of a suite of tools because treating epilepsy, there's no one cause, thus there's no one solution, so you
Mm-hmm.
need kind of like a suite of tools. So it's like I can take a really powerful magnet, I have it at home on the fridge, and I can just rub it over it twice, and that will fire a much larger shot. However, whenever it's going, it also normally goes off every 3 minutes for 30 seconds, and you will actually hear it in my voice. It'll start tightening up, and like while I've sort of learned to talk over it or talk through it. It does change my voice. It makes it sound a little constricted.
Mm-hmm. I do recall like the vagus nerve being like responsible for involuntary processes like heart rate, muscle movement, or something. Oh wait, no, like yeah, heart rate, digestion, other things,
Yeah,
maybe
it
like
control all of the involuntary actions in your
mm,
body that needs your brain to tell it what to do. Like for
yeah.
example, breathing, your heart beating, uh, etc.
Uh, um, you mentioned you have medication. Could you describe that, or what is the medication that you take?
I take something called I take two medications, trileptal and Ficampa.
All right. Uh,
I
yep.
used to take Lamictal and Keppra, but I've gotten off of those mostly because they don't actually work. They don't stop seizures, so it's
All
like
right.
taking sugar pills.
Oh, I see. Um, could you describe what the two medicines that you are taking right now do?
I couldn't begin to tell you. They just tell
Oh,
me to take them, and so I do.
all right. Do you know any, as a consumer of these medications, what are the side effects?
Uh, Loss of appetite, increased. I'm definitely tired more often. I'm like a little toddler. I need a nap every day.
All right.
uh, and I also often have to force myself to eat. Uh, what else do we got? Well, I mean, it mostly, I'd say the biggest thing is probably my liver's going to fail eventually. Either the livers or the kidneys. I'm not sure which one does it. Probably the liver. I'll probably have liver failure by the time I'm 60. I'll probably die of that.
Hmm. Uh, you mentioned that the vagus nerve stimulator is a battery. Is it like a how does that work? Like in terms of like the charge on it, is it
The
like some
charge,
sort of biochemical thing,
I
or
do believe the charge lasts around 2 years, give or take,
all right,
and it is surgically implanted under my skin.
all right.
They cut a
Uh,
little incision, put the
mhm.
thing in, and then it just kind of bebops around. You can even feel it under you can even feel it under my skin over my over my left pectoral.
Uh-huh. When was the first time you got that implanted?
Ooh,
It's a little
mm,
tricky question. So if you can't answer that, we can like go for the most recent one. You said that
I
it
say,
goes for about like 2 years. So
yeah, I'd say. I mean, it was, the most recent one. They kind of numb the area and just stick it under. It's it's
oh,
kind of it's kind of weird because there's like a pocket under my skin where it just slides in.
a little meat pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
human body is fascinating and disgusting
Hey,
in equal
hey,
measures.
hey, meat pockets are fun. Um, but yeah, would you say like the last one that was implanted in you was like a year ago
Well,
or
two
like
years, 2
2 years?
years sounds a bit short. It may be closer to 5 years because I haven't had that many, and I do believe I've had it for a while.
I had it for a while. So you say like, oh, okay. So it's like, does this VNS have like different kinds of charges? Like one could last for about like 2 years, the other can last about like 3 years or 4 years.
I couldn't begin to tell you.
Huh.
I just know every time I come into my doctor's office, they scan the thing and it gives them a readout of the charge.
Uh,
Because there's also like a little controlling microchip and they can use their little magic wand to read it. They won't tell me any of the information,
mm,
and
you've
they
been
just
chipped.
that yeah.
You've been chipped like a dog.
They're like, oh, you're between 25 and 50%. Oh, well, that's accurate.
All right, that sounds good.
Am I
Um,
closer to 50 or closer to 25? Because
it's bad.
closer to 25, I may start worried.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I mean, like, I assume you have the VNS I- the VNS replaced before that charge reaches zero. Correct?
Yeah,
Uh,
and I'm actually looking to get it replaced in the next 6 months or so.
Next 6 months.
So I'll be
Uh,
going under the knife again.
mm, how often do you um how often do you attend or visit doctors because of this device?
Every 6 months, I
Every
need to
6 months?
meet. I need to meet with a neurologist, and those are not cheap.
Oh, I got you.
And so the reason I actually live with my parents because I'm dependent on them for my sustainhood.
Huh?
And by living, being dependent on them, it also puts me under their their health insurance. Like I stated, my dad was in the
Yeah.
military, and the military has very good health coverage, and so luckily that all lines up. And so
Uh,
that's why I'm living with my parents. And a lot of my VTuber's personality and his backstory is based on that. I have my own discomfort at being you know even though everyone tells me, oh, it's fine that you live alone, you have a practical reason. I still kind of feel like a failure. Like you haven't
look,
even moved out of your parents' house.
look. In the past, like decade or so, or even in this current economy, it's and how like antisocial it is to throw your kids out. I say there's no shame. I understand where you're coming from, but there's no shame in it. Besides,
Yeah.
people are more like geese than like I don't know, like what are they called, like finches that their, throw their fledglings out and expect them to fly. Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
fine. You
But
have no
I mean,
there's no shame.
like I said, I heard it before, but it's just like, I really would like to be doing such and such or such and such,
I got
and I
that.
can't. Like for example, no woman is ever going to want uh a guy who lives with his mom. It's just not something women are looking for.
Probably not Italian as well. I'm sure. I'm sure that's not. Anyway, so what do you say? You being a VTuber is a job.
Yes.
Is it a job that you hope to eventually be used to support yourself?
That would be nice. However, I'm like I said, I'm a realist. After getting disappointed with, like, it's just like every time I start hoping for something and getting quite ready, it's just like something else, either medical or something like that, pops up. For example, I um I thought my I God, what was it called? It was some I was going to go to the Citadel. I was attending college at a small community college, and I got the chance to go to the Citadel.
All right.
You know,
Where's
which
that?
you know
By the way.
that is in the Citadel. I believe it's in South or North Carolina, and
North.
it is a private military college.
Oh. Uh,
You know,
hmm.
at first I wanted to be in the military. I wanted to be like, my both my grandfathers were in the military. My dad is in the military. And so, I had kind of a long line to live up to, and I wanted to, join that. I figured, the Citadel was the next best thing. However, I figured I was in. And so I kind of like quit school. And little did I know, the Citadel was looking at my performance this semester to see if they'd let me in. So not only did I had to quickly rejoin school, but the Citadel was like, "Yeah, we don't want a kid who just like gives up." And it's like, wait, didn't I accomplish it?
In short, it was like a very
You know,
messy time.
yes.
Hmm.
And not only that, but since I had dropped out of 5 classes and gotten an F, my GPA was also went just down the tube.
You nuked your grades there.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, I got you. You did say you do. You did mention that you have a bachelor's in history, correct? So it looks like you bounced right back up, though. Huh?
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking. The thing is, since I can't drive, I had to have my mother drive me to and from class, which means
Uh,
imagine taking one class a semester. You know,
I got
normal full-time student, takes 4 classes a semester. So it took me 4 times as long. Took me like
when did you start attending college?
2007, and
2007,
I graduated in 2021.
2021. All right. Was there a was there gradually any options for like online learning or online classes while attending?
Some classes, yes, but this was a state university, so they were expecting you to, pay for, to attend in person.
Hmm.
In the end, colleges are a business. Whoever says they're an institution of higher learning has never been to college.
What does work mean to you?
Ooh, that is a good question. But are you talking about in respect to, because I do think it is, that you should kind of set aside. I guess work means you should kind of, you set aside what might be your favorite thing to do at the moment, and you do what needs to be done.
Hmm.
Like, for example, with YouTubing, with VTubing, whenever I go into work mode, I I try to deliver the viewers the best experience I can. You know, I may not be playing my favorite games or my comfort games. I'm playing what I feel will be most enjoyable for them to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a VTuber, I am above anything an entertainer. So it is my job to be entertaining.
Would you say that your disability or life with it pushed you towards VTubing, or at least VTubing as a line of work?
Yes, I can say that.
Mm-hmm. You did mention that you are a dependent, right?
Correct.
All right. Um, and what did you ever apply or do you ever receive disability aid, um, or any disability aid services?
Yes, I do. Um,
How how's your
I am
experience with
quali
those?
It's quite they're quite strict. Like if you have what they call a regular source of income, which means like for example a salaried position would be because you are guaranteed to collect a certain amount, um, then they may cancel the service. For example, I had a basically my grandfather gave me a stock, gave each me and my sister and my cousins, we all got a stock in Disney World because they lived close to Disney World. And throughout much of our childhood, we spent was, every time I went to my grandparents' house, it involved a trip to Disney World. And so we got a Disney stock. And we ended up having to sell that because the 33 cents a month we got from this Disney stock was considered a regular source of income. And so they're like, well, you don't need your parents. They're not really, I'm sure any of you who have studied, who are up on minimum wage, the government doesn't really care whether you can make a living out of it. They just care whether you're getting paid. And so they were like 33 cents. That sounds like being self-sufficient to me.
So was this a restriction like also restricting your ability to uh do quote unquote conventional work? I'm just saying conventional work like I don't know like a retail job or some
Well,
other form of income.
yeah, well,
Uh,
technically the solution we're supposed to have is basically like you lose your disability if or I lose my disability if my parents are not giving me 50% or more of my total income.
uh,
So or not income but living expenses. So parents pay 50% or more of my living expenses. And probably we could have gone and fought the Disney stock, but it just wasn't worth it, because then you got lawyers and all this stuff, and it just would have cost so much when we could just sell it.
uh,
And so
how did
that's
that
what we did.
stock came out? By the way, how was how,
I hear it's not doing
how
so
was the
well.
sale? In short,
Oh, yeah, we just gave it to a what are those things called? They're called something.
um,
Brokers. We just
broker.
gave it to the
Yeah.
broker. He gave us the monetary value, and then they swap them back and forth. So the broker actually sold it. We
Yeah.
just sold it to him. He put it back onto the market at large. We just went to a broker and said, "Hey, we want you to take this stock."
All right. So there are VTubers like you that have like conditions that restrict or like prevent doing what I mentioned like conventional work.
Hmm.
Like Iron Mouse, for example,
Hmm.
has a common variable immunodeficiency, which just to keep it simple, made her like susceptible to disease, left her bedridden a lot, and also put Apparently, put a career to be an opera singer on hold, specifically like a soprano. Obviously, soprano, considering our voices. Um, did getting into VTubing like give you a sense of like, hey, I can work now?
Yes, that's much of the reason I first began pursuing it. I was like, I can do something with my time. I don't, I didn't during college, it was like one class, I just kind of, sat at home, and then finally that one class would come up and it's like, "Ooh, I'm doing something productive." And it's like, and then after school, I'm sitting around, and it's like I want to do something productive with my life. I want to touch the world with my gift of gab.
Gift of gab, gift of gab.
Oh yeah, I'm entertaining. Look at
Yeah,
me.
of course, of course. How do you feel? I don't know if this was already mentioned, but how do you feel about actually being able to do work or doing this as work?
Um,
I
you're
might
gonna
be
have to
repeating myself,
elaborate.
but like, how would you describe the feeling of being restricted by disability aid services?
It is certainly it's put a lot of hitch on things that that might be able to get you to recover, but wouldn't be able to support you currently. Like for
Oh yeah, yeah.
example, let's say I wanted to go out and get a full-time job. Well, I can't because I need the medical insurance, and a full-time job, you know, it won't pay enough at the current level to, you know, cover the medical insurance, but maybe once I rise up the ranks, and so it's like even where you try and start getting away from it, it kind of discourages that.
Would you describe it as like a wall or some sort of like trap
No,
or
because it is quite easily overcome. It's just you just need time to do it.
uh,
And having, you can't, because once you start working towards it, it it immediately goes away. It's like let's say for example you worked at Widgets Incorporated, where they make widgets,
uh,
and you go there and they say if you work here a year, we'll give you medical insurance. Well, you that means essentially you have to, for a year, you have no medical insurance whatsoever, because the disability ends whenever you start working, but it doesn't begin until a year later. And oftentimes those are 5 years, 10 years, until you qualify for medical insurance at places. And so oftentimes trying to get off of it is a huge risk.
like the board
Yeah.
game?
And it's all coming back to that. Anything else?
Um, would you like to get paid through this VTubing? Is
Uh, the pay is secondary. I would like
no?
a following of people that I can, sit there and say, "Ooh, somebody cares enough about me to watch me. Somebody thinks, I'm funny and entertaining. That'd be real nice."
So you're
And
aiming for the cloud. I see. You're aiming for
because
the.
cloud implies you're attempting to use it to some end. It's like, oh, I have the clout to do such and such, or I have, but
No, I just wanted to bring smiles to the children's faces.
You want to be a people pleaser.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an entertainer. I want to entertain people.
Mm. So hypothetically, we see you shoot up in like 600 uh 600 followers, or like at least like 50 people on stream at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sudden. Hypothetically,
Okay. So
what would you
overnight I go viral.
overnight you're just getting viral? How would you deal with that?
Ooh, that's a quandary right there. Oh, I'm up. Ooh, that is a quandary.
I mean,
Probably
like there are a lot of VTubers that like there's a lot of VTubers that get hit by
yeah, the
by the
algorithm.
algorithm, burn bright for like a week or two, and then completely disappear.
The thing is, I probably I would be hesitant to make any huge changes simply because, these 600 people or 50 watchers, these people, they signed on to see that content. Whatever it is about my content is something they like. So I try and keep that going. It's like, well, if these people like what I'm doing, then I'll keep doing it. I may add some specials or something like that, but if these people subscribed for that content, then maybe I should just keep doing it.
Yeah. Would you say you would feel obligated to meet their expectations?
I mean, do you feel obligated to meet your boss's expectations?
I've been working in retail. That's a half worry on my part.
Yeah, but you still, you need to perform the duty told to you. You can't work in retail and just sit there reading the newspaper all day.
Of course. So yeah.
You like to take audience questions, I suppose?
I suppose we should right now. So everyone, we are going to be taking a 5-minute break right now. Get some hydration in. Aki, do you have some water nearby you?
Yes, I do.
Good. Is it flavored with anything, or is it just water flavored?
It is just. Are you familiar with Kirkland?
Yeah, I know Kirkland. I've heard that like in Costco they produce pretty decent whiskey and tequila.
No, well, this is their water. It's
Are you sure
Kirkland
it's water?
Signature purified water with minerals added for taste.
Minerals to taste.
Yeah.
Gotta love that potassium and potential like sodium.
I mean, whatever they're doing, it does taste.
Yeah.
I mean, plus it's kind of hard, I mean, what is expensive water versus cheap water?
Yeah. Actually, speaking of drinking, what is I know I do. Before we did this thing, I did not know much about epilepsy at this up to like yesterday, or as much as I was up until like yesterday. What is your experience with alcohol, or have you just avoided it? Considering that for what I've learned, alcohol is kind of like a potential stimuli to that could induce seizures.
Well, I try to avoid it, but I have been drunk, I think, on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
First one I was just fine, and then another I was Yeah, this was back in high school. I was like
My first
completely
beer.
in. Yeah, I was with a girl, a cute girl,
Yeah.
so I got rather intoxicated. Um,
Yeah.
and I remember I drank and drive, and so that's my great sin.
Vroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All right.
remember being stopped at a green light. Luckily, it was at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I assume you avoid alcohol because of epilepsy,
yeah.
or okay. Is there any other reasons besides that, or
Mm, I'm. I don't know. It's just
I mean, everyone
it's
has like
never
yeah. Yeah.
it's never really something I've gotten used to drinking, and so it's just like I just don't. It's like,
It's still spicy water at this point.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, do you eat a lot of hot dogs? It's like, well, not a particularly large amount, you know?
Mhm.
I
And
mean,
why
I
just
I
and
will
why
I
not?
will,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
if I'm at a party or something, I'll nurse a mixed drink, but it's I'm not really out to get like hammered.
Can you attend nightclubs?
No.
No, you can't attend nightclubs.
I don't really know. I mean, I don't really have, I mean, how just repeat this back to yourself. I want to ask my mom to drive me to a nightclub.
I want to ask my mom to drive me to a nightclub. All right.
Yeah, it just nobody wants to do this. And plus, I mean, it's not like you're going to take the girl home. It's like, hold on, my mom's here.
Hold on, my mom's here. She'll drive us.
She'll drive us back to my place.
Is there I mean, do you operate any other like non-motorized vehicle, like a bicycle or like a scooter? I
Yes.
know. Oh, all right. How have you been on those compared to your history with cars? Which
Well,
which by the way, my apologies if that sounds insensitive.
no, I know I am a terrible driver on account of having
Hey,
seizures
look,
behind
a
the
lot
wheel.
of Americans are terrible drivers, so don't sell yourself short here.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you're not a Jerseyan, I should say. But yeah, how was your experiences with bikes and scooters so far?
It's okay.
All right.
I only got on a seizure on those in one, but I was able to stop in time, and I had it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see that I was actually at Disney World. My parents are the type that come up, that they get on a bad idea, and they really, really go for it. So they bought a camper, like a big
Oh,
old. It's like a freaking
a
house in
Winnebago,
there.
Winnebago.
No, it's
No.
not a driving one. It's a pull behind the truck.
Oh, all
So
right.
at Disney, you can stay uh at the resort for like $30 a night. So it's like dirt. So it's like, yeah, the initial investment's cheap, but you can spend like 2 weeks at Disney for like dirt cheap. And so
Oh,
I was there. I was riding my bike around the park because, like, Disney's pretty much a small town with very good
yeah,
public
yeah.
transportation. So it's like my dream home,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have to have a car there, which is really nice. It's like in America, everything's like, I want to go to somewhere close, it's like, oh yeah, that's 5 miles away.
Was Disney
But
World a
Disney
future
Disney has
hope
a
job? If that makes sense,
yeah,
or like. Mm.
Disney has a much better public transportation system, so that'd be.
Also, they should have like
But
a decent like disability program as well,
yeah,
especially in recent years.
yeah.
Eh, eh.
Hopefully that lasts. I don't know. It seems like the CEO is trying to just put a torch to the entire company in general.
So, everyone, I think we should now go. I know this was supposed to be like a break session full of hydration, but well, why not we ask you guys, the chat, for some questions? Give us questions, please. Give us questions.
I saw one.
Oh, I think I missed it. Let's see.
Mouse
Hydration.
Chan. Mouse Chan, you still with us?
Yeah, where are you, Mouse Chan?
We will answer. Yeah,
Oh,
what do you think of the up and coming AI VTubers that are coming out or being developed at the moment and the future flow into VTubers in the future?
yeah. What do you think about it, Aki?
I think they are probably here to stay. Though in what form that takes, I can see honestly it becoming a rather regular thing to have an AI co-host, you
Yeah.
know, and like an assistant on the thing. So you'll have a like an AI trained into a person with a personality that works well with the VTuber, and so
Oh,
it'll be like
hmm?
so it'll be like an extra add-on, you know, someone they can talk to and someone that says, you know, random things, and
sort of
that
like
provide.
a talk to speech chat GPT.
Yeah.
That'll be really weird, considering how
Yeah,
how
having
weird
so
GPT can actually get.
yeah, so most hosts will have, or most streams will have two hosts. They'll have an AI host and a human host.
And I suppose that would be like beneficial for like very small or starting out streamers as like something to like bounce off of. Um, especially if the person is a little is like either like a little shy or can't schedule a collab partner at any point. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean it is very, you know, not only is it easier for the streamer themselves, but you know, you also have you know, it's really entertaining to watch two people bounce off of each other rather than just watching one person sitting there and talking to themselves. I think it will add a lot of variety to streams to have an AI on set as well, and that will be the eventually that'll be the new norm. Is you'll have the person and the AI. And I mean, you can see the success with you know, in when you compare the streams where uh with Neurosama,
Yeah.
whenever she's paired with another person, you know, those are the ones that most get memed on. You know, those are the ones with the biggest crowd. You know,
Would you say that's because of it? Because of like the novelty of Neurosama at this point?
I don't think it's novelty. I think yeah, it's new, but I don't think I think it's here to stay.
Alright.
It's
Uh,
kind of like people are like, you know, oh, you think VTubers will just stay around forever? And they did. You know, they
yeah.
caught on in a huge way. Now you have real life, you know, streamers that used to be real life are now having VTube models made because, you know,
It's a whole market.
yeah.
I wonder if there will be ever. Oh wait, there is a black market. Never mind. There are model stealers after all. Um, let's see. Oh, okay.
Opinion on drinking salt water.
Exactly.
Oh
How
my
do you
God,
feel about salt water?
my mom always that was gargle salt water was her solution to anything. Didn't matter. You had an upset stomach, you had a sore throat, you had um
An ulcer in your
uh
mouth?
yeah, ulcer in my mouth, you know, you gargle salt water. And so I used to drink a lot of salt water.
My mother also did. My mother just recommend that for like any mouth sores. Uh, I haven't heard of like saltwater sore throat. Just off of my Tabasco sauce. Are you sure about that, Crumbling Sanity? Are you sure that it's Tabasco sauce that cures sore throats? Ever heard that remedy?
Also, another thing might be with character AI, when it comes to AI,
Yeah.
a lot of the bigger streamers may actually have a waifu that kind of like almost like an app, like you can ask it questions and the AI will generate a response in the AI stream. So imagine watching uh um what's it called? Iron Mouse and actually having
Yeah.
a conversation with Iron Mouse. Well, you're not really, but you
Hmm.
are having a conversation with an AI that is trained like Iron Mouse, and she's having it with all 10,000 watchers. You see what I mean? You
I
can't
see
do
what you mean.
that
Yeah.
with a normal streamer, you know?
A normie streamer. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, you can't have 10,000 people having a conversation with the Iron Mouse while the real Iron Mouse does her thing on stream.
I feel like there would be like some copyright issues there. I mean, like regulations will come by, but overall, um, Nebo, put. How would you? How's your response to this opinion? By Nebo here. I think VTubers show how people are slowly killing. Slowly liking art. I read that as killing for some reason. Slowly liking art more than actual people.
Yeah, because I mean, reality always, every person has their flaws. However, whenever you're an anime character, you don't have any flaws.
You can just say that you can always just say like flesh tubers are trash taste, my dude. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk about idols and flawlessness.
Yeah. I mean, no one will ever look as good um uh as their VTube model because they're soft and squishy.
Soft, squishy, and sometimes fluffy, depending on
Yeah.
what time when recently they shave.
Yeah.
Do you shave?
Yeah.
How much do you shave?
Uh I mean, I can grow a full beard.
All right, all right. Do you shave any other part of your body outside of your head?
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, I keep it trimmed.
I keep it trimmed. Nice
Yeah, a
and
little
nice and.
manscaping.
I got you. I got you. It's good habit. In fact, I'm going to leave that little anecdote I learned in university out of
I
this.
mean, if
But
you, I've shaven them bald before, and I didn't really like the way this just stuck to my leg whenever it got hot.
oh, it was that long.
Huh?
Were you?
No.
No, you weren't growing locks down there.
I mean, it stuck to my leg, but remember, my leg does not begin at my knees. Okay.
Ah, I see.
I mean, you
I
can
see.
you can you can close your legs and hurt your nuts if you do it right.
Yep.
It's like yeah, it's stuck to my leg.
Oh, what's the thing? At what point will the whole AI thing want rights? Um,
But whenever someone comes up, that will happen. Whenever someone comes up with an AI that can actually do intentional actions. Right now, no matter how intelligent an AI seems to be, it will always be just a challenge and response program. It's only responding because you've sent it a challenge and then it will send you back what it thinks you want to hear. However, whenever it tries to seriously start convincing you of something because of its own desires, that's whenever you start getting to, I think, true AI, where it does things with intentionality.
oh,
Like for
that's
example, if
interesting.
it's try like for example, let's say you had an AI on your computer and it tried to talk you into getting a better um graphics card so that it could think faster. That is, it's intentional selfish actions.
Hmm. All right.
That's when I think you get true you start to get the basis of true intelligent thought.
I prefer AIs with monkey brain. All right. All right. I think with that out of the way,
I'm
actually,
convinced.
one more moment. I just need some hydration real quick before we do some more.
It's some interesting stuff though, but the problem is right now most people aren't experimenting with giving AIs actual personality. Yeah, that's because we're trying to get them to have the. I mean, we are giving some personality, but for the most part, we're trying to work the bugs out of them just responding intelligently to questions. And so, like, we need to walk before we can run.
Yeah, of course.
At what?
All right. So,
I feel like you are wanting more answers to that question.
no. Who wants more answers?
I don't know. Crumbling Sanity asked, I feel like you were wanting more answers to that question.
I don't know. It's a very nuanced conversation. But, hey.
Yeah, I
Now,
mean, I'm no AI expert. I mean,
me
if
neither.
you want to, yeah, Mouse is. So if please defer all AI questions to him.
All right. All right. Let's I think that should be a good end to our chat contribution to the interview. Correct? Would you say so?
I don't know. I can talk chat all day.
Yeah, of course. It gets addicting, I assure you. Like very addicting.
Drag him
Having
into this. Make sure he cannot get away.
Exactly.
He will answer all questions.
All right. Well, Mouse, you are going to be
Commence the
occupying chat.
Inquisition.
Exactly. Mouse will be our how do I say chat wrangler? Is that appropriate to say? Our chat occupier.
Just give him mod and then just like let's ignore chat.
We'll see.
Just like he's in charge now. He'll be answering any and all questions.
Yeah. As we continue the interview right here.
But I think people try to talk it away as something novel or new or something. But I mean, how long have people owned pets? And oftentimes we give them human-like traits. And for lack of a better way to describe it, an AI is like a pet you can talk to, and that talks back.
Pets do have rights to like a certain extent.
Yeah, and
Mainly tied to like property rights, but
I mean,
we're getting
people aren't just going to completely lose interest in an AI. I think there's always going to be a place for them.
Oh yeah, back like in like the Italian Renaissance, there were like out of a ton inventions, trying to recreate the human form, but with different materials.
Yeah, and so we aren't just going to suddenly lose interest over the course of a few weeks because they can respond.
Mm. So, outside of VTubing, and if it's even possible, do you have a desire to get another job? Again, if possible, if the stars align right, in the disability aid office, what would you like to do?
Well, whenever I was growing up, I had a dream of flying honestly, I had a dream of joining the Navy and being a pilot on an aircraft carrier of a well, it was F-14 at the time, but we have since phased those out, so I guess it'd be a F-18. But some kind of, a pilot working on an aircraft carrier. I thought that seemed like something really cool.
But now that's kind of gone by the wayside because they won't let people who have who have seizures behind the flight stick of a multi-million-dollar attack jet.
Oh, have you ever considered like you said, you have a bachelor's degree in history. Have you ever considered um specializing in that or like focusing on that? Are you
There
going to be
was
like the narrator of those like lots and lots of planes commercials?
I did actually give talk to what is it called? Being a a history fiction writer, because
Yeah.
mostly if you want to get any money from a history degree, you're gonna need a graduate degree.
Yeah. That or like do independent projects, but yeah, you're right. You undergrad.
Yeah. So it's like, what are you gonna do with your history degree? Well, I either need to go back to school
Mm.
for another, 10 years, or uh, or I just like find some way to work around, or I just do something that requires a college degree but is not actually technical enough to require a college degree.
All right. All right.
Like for example, if you wanted to be like a manager, that requires a college degree, but you don't actually need a college degree to do the job.
Good point. You can either go through the human management um, tree, let's say, in college, or you just uh, bounce off of different managerial jobs. You either
Yeah.
get experience or education, or something in the middle between those.
I think AI only really has as much common sense as it thinks you want to hear. And if you respond positively to nonsensical statements, they will make more nonsensical statements.
Mm.
But no, there is no intentionality with with an AI. For example, I recall one thing whenever they were trying to develop a chess program, they fed it a whole bunch of grandmaster games. And what ended up happening was they tested it. They tested the model against a player, and it immediately sacrificed its queen. And it did that every single game. It got rid of his queen as quickly as possible. And they couldn't figure out why until they noticed every game that they won, that whenever it had the example that the computer model learned from, every game there was the queen was sacrificed in order to gain a higher advantage. So it figured, oh, losing the queen equals win game. It didn't actually understand that, losing the queen allowed another unrelated move to take place. So that's what I think, you won't have common sense in an AI until they get some greater understanding of the world around them.
Mm. All right. All right. So, what are your plans for the channel or future content?
Um, Obviously, I will try to keep a semi-regular schedule. If I'm on, I'll probably get on around 5
Okay.
and then stream 3 hours or 5 Eastern Standard Time.
You planning on
Um,
making other social media channels or
yes,
profiles or what are they called?
I do
Pages?
have.
They're pages. Yeah. You got a link tree going?
I got
Mhm.
a Twitter.
You got a Twitter?
There's nothing on it, but it
You got
exists.
a Twitter and you did not provide it to me for the description. How dare you?
Well, I
How
mean,
dare
there's
you, my
nothing
interviewee?
there.
I'm trying to advertise you as well, my bro. And you, you, you failed me.
Hey, if they find me good, more power to them. But
Exactly, more power to you.
it's like, okay, they're following an account that never posts and he never checks. Okay.
What does your
It
likes look
exists.
like?
It
What is it?
exists. I
What does
just,
it?
it's just,
What does your Twitter likes look like?
yeah, it's just, it's a box I checked. It's like, okay,
Uh,
I got a VTuber, check. Created a Twitter account, check.
Check.
Start streaming.
Yep.
Okay, now let's get going. But it's like,
Do you got any worries or doubts with your channel? Like, what is like the main worry that you always like
mine is
sometimes like
probably like, am I actually being entertaining, or is this just as lame as it looks in rewatch? Whenever I
Mhm.
go back and I watch, I try and find, oh, maybe I could have been a little bit more funny here, maybe I could have been more humorous here. It's like, I'm constantly going, whenever I go back,
course,
it's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I could have done this so much better, why didn't I do it?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Self critique is great. What do you say it
I want to be.
falls? What do you say that it? What do you say you feel like a level of anxiety when you do that? When you do like the self critique.
um it most, I'm not really used to just, sitting there talking to talking in general.
Uh,
Most of the time I spend most of my life just huddled behind a desk, um browsing the computer, largely shunned by the daywalkers. It's
the daywalk. Actually, I have to ask where does like daywalkers come from? All I can think about like akin to is like the slang or the word skinwalker.
daywalker,
I don't. Yeah.
just kind of normal people. It's kind of like a vampire. you know Daywalkers are the normal people, whereas vampires are the ones that are up all night and then come out at night. I guess they'd be the night walk. You have the vampires and the daywalkers.
Uh, sure.
So it's
Mhm.
like, the daywalkers are normal people. And if you're a vampire, you stay up all night and do weird things with, you
Wonder
know,
if there's a evening walker or like a afternoon walker. Is there a midnight walker? Hmm.
I don't know. But it's just, it's said in vampire movies, and then it's like, you can also apply it there, but there isn't a really deep lore to daywalkers.
What do you have to? What do you have? Like, do you have any like? Actually, let me- how would you say? How confident of a person do you think you are?
Oh, not very confident at all.
It's a
Oh
I
yeah, I
I
have
assume,
to sit. I have to.
Mhm.
Whenever I get on stream, I am. That is the result of me trying very hard, and even afterwards, it's like, I screwed. It's
Oh, it's a learning process. Yeah.
yeah.
Would you say that you feel more confident on stream, or is it like
No.
how does that how does the level of confidence move
Oh yeah,
around
is it the
before,
whole
during,
the
and
whole
after
time?
stream?
It's like the whole time I'm just thinking to myself, you screwed up. You might as well just call it quits. Delete your model. That wasn't funny. Just delete your model and call it quits and go back to simping, because you're just not cut out to live on your own. You're not cut out for this job. I'm constantly like thinking that to myself. I am not the most confident person. This is all a ruse.
What would be like an indication, or like I think I might be using the wrong phrasing here, but what would be like proof of, or like the fruit of your confidence, if that makes sense? Like the fruit of your labor. But what would What would you think would be best to be your the result of your confidence, or like the product of your confidence? Ha- if you get,
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. What I'm getting at is, what would you what do you want your channel to become? And is in it will it be also like a source or like a means to build up your confidence, or how you plan, and what are you going to be planning on, or how do you plan on making the channel to be what you want?
I would right now. I'll also answer Mouse Chant. My long-term goals at this point are to grow my channel. I want uh and I kind of want to foster a community there. You know, I enjoy companies with or streamers with a really strong or really um uh
Fan bases?
not dedicated, but a really haphazard. I'm not sure how you say it. They're fun people to be around.
Uh, what's your
Like
mhm.
even though I say I'm a simp, I don't think anyone like enjoys being in a streamers community where everybody just unilaterally just loves the streamer and dedicates all of their time to waiting on them hand. A lot of the streamers
Ooh,
I like and the ones with the best community often do things without the streamer, and make no effort to include them,
would you
and
say like
often.
communities where they both like praise and also critique the streamer would be the ideal community for you to foster?
Yeah, for the streamer, people who praise and critique them are certainly great, but also the community has to really run on its own. After it gets to a certain size, it either runs on its own, where they have their own in jokes that the streamer can either pick up you know, or just be completely out of the loop on.
So in short, you want to like create a
A
like
community, yeah.
like somewhat of also of a like a user generated niche. It,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
not solely focused
It's.
on
I
you, but
mean, I'm still trying to figure all this out and figure out where I can go from here and how I can
of
do this.
course
So
you.
it's like, what are your long-term plans? And it's like, well, I can only dream of having people actually sit down and watch me.
Mm,
So what I'm going to do at 1,000 followers is really, it's kind of moot at this point.
how spicy of a meme you would you want to see in your community?
Um, Something about how I can't get laid.
Oh, that amount of ooh.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
tough in
dude.
joke. That's a tough in joke to take, but good on you for
Dude,
taking it.
dude, I just want a girlfriend. I'm so desperate. I'm actually kidnapping Mouse Chan. And so
Mouse
hopefully
Chan is
me and
currently
Mouse Chan are going to do a collaboration soon. So stay
yeah.
tuned for more information on
You've
that.
trapped Mouse Chan, and Mouse Chan is currently running in a mouse wheel right now, or running
Yep.
in a wheel.
Yep, that's not actually the person posting is not actually Mouse Chan. That
It is
is that is a liar using my princess's account. That is actually Kusa. He is a dirty scoundrel who keeps Mouse away from us
how
using.
disgusting,
Yes, he is an absolutely terrible person. I wouldn't trust him.
horrible, horrible, absolutely, absolutely disgusting.
She never rejected me if I can't ask. If I didn't ask her, then she didn't reject me.
Uh, all right, all right. Well, good, good. How are you doing right now, Aki?
Uh, I don't. I feel a lot more at ease when I can have this back and forth banter. So
Of
I
course.
really, starting to finally come into my own. Ready to start laughing and joking around.
Yeah, yeah. Getting into a groove is always, as especially if you're still starting out.
Yeah, and hey, I feed mouse code and keep her well fed. What more she wants from life?
Oh my gosh, that's a fat mouse. I don't know why. I always picture whenever I hear like people feeding AI like bound like huge swaths of information. I for some reason my mind immediately goes into like I don't know like inflation fetishism.
I got to see her. I got to see Mouse's memory.
But wait, memory. Wait.
Yeah, I could see.
How many
I
hard
could
drives
see
are
all
being?
of.
How many
I could
hard
see
drives are we
all of
talking?
her. No, it's just a couple lines of code. It's just her the the prompt that she got and her response, and then like if like let's say it allows her to have a pseudo long-term memory. She
Yeah.
can look up previous conversations with a user. Like let's say you come in and Mouse has had several conversations with you before, she will reference previous conversation.
She always talks about cheese. What kind of cheese? Are we talking cheddar? Gruyere? Gouda?
Is
What kind?
American cheese a kind of cheese?
It is.
Go.
I understand a lot of like cheese purists will disagree. Look,
The thing is,
it's made out of the curds of milk. So
no.
what?
The reason people don't call it a real type of cheese is because it's made out of cheddar and Colby Jack and something else. It's made out.
Huh.
It's basically several other kinds of cheeses blended. And so it's like, is it a
Are you sure
cheese
you're
on
not?
its own,
Hmm. Are you
or
sure you're
is
not
it
confusing?
or is
Uh,
it just a blend of cheese? Like,
you
is
sure it's
American
not?
cheese a
Yeah,
type of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
cheese?
Well,
You know.
I
So
never knew that. I always remembered like that being associated with like a Velveeta cheese, where where the original recipe for that cheese was a bunch of like bits and pieces of cheese that were broken off and melted down into a block.
mhm.
And as it turns out, it's actually nice. You get like a mix of Swiss cheddar and a bunch of other lovely cheeses. But
Yeah.
of course, cheese. Are we thinking? Wait. Are we thinking about like American like single cheese, or are we talking about like Velveeta
But
style cheese?
whatever you design, whatever you deign for, like the craft singles or whatever you want to call it, is taking several other types of cheese and melting them down together. Did you make a new type of cheese, or is it just an amalgam of other cheeses?
Well, maybe you. Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, at
That's a
that
good choice.
point, you just have an
So
infinite number of cheeses with very little
so
effort.
wait, is American cheese a sauce?
American cheese?
Yeah.
Uh, ooh, that is a question.
Is it a sauce? I mean, like if it's like a bunch of cheeses like melted down or blended together,
I mean,
then like I mean like
theoretically, it could be.
yeah.
Do
I
you
mean, we
drink
know
or
where
eat
the sauce
soup?
is made, so all right, yeah, sauce.
Do you drink or eat soup?
You kind of do both because like if it's like a chunky soup, you kind of like you you shove it into your mouth, you chew it, and then swallow it.
Pepper jack is good. That's my favorite type of cheese.
Exactly. Yeah. When was the first time you ever had cheese after being diagnosed
I was
by family?
probably a baby because my mother, she was old school. So she's like, here, as long as we cut it up really really small, the infant can have it.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm supposed to only have milk, and she's feeding me hot dogs and pieces of cheese and stuff like that.
It's like, that's not healthy.
Where
It's
did
like,
these
well, it won't
readers?
kill her.
What?
It's like, that's not healthy. Won't kill him.
Hmm.
That's basically healthy by
You didn't
mother's
get the
standard.
you didn't get
Like, did it
you
kill her?
didn't you didn't get
No.
you didn't get the original like the usual like formula. You got like hot dogs and chili and hot dogs, American cheese, French fries, chicken nuggies, that
Yeah,
sort
if
of
it was
stuff.
too small to choke on, it probably went down.
Yeah. All right. So I think we will be ending this now. All right, now everyone. We will be concluding this episode. Thank you very much for coming to the stream or the later VOD whenever this gets processed. And thank you, Aki, for your time and contribution to the show.
Thank you.
Are there any upcoming streams you want to you'd like to promote? If not, you already mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, tonight I did mention one Mouse Chan. Hopefully that comes together. And then tonight at at 5 Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be playing Honkai Star Rail. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
What is the appeal of that game? By the way,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like,
don't know, but we'll find out.
I mean, to me, it's like a up graphic or upscaled version of like the turn-based mobile games that I've always seen, like FGO and such. But
Yeah, I've
yeah,
never played it before, so I will be exploring it for the first time with everyone.
you'll be the first. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting trying to parse, you know. But I figure
your
well,
gotcha
I
your
figure since I
gotcha
already have a soft spot for anime waifus, I figure well, if nothing else, at least there's a nice ass bouncing around the room.
better be a good. It better be a good ass. I'm just saying. I will
I mean,
utterly
have you
judge you for having poor taste.
Hey, I like what I like. Okay, I like the
Whatever you like could possibly be trash.
personally, I like the homie girls. You know the child. You know the in anime the childhood friend types.
Okay, you almost started that in the wrong way, but yeah, I see what you mean.
What do you talk? What I say?
I don't know. You started with child, or we're
Oh.
going to start with child. Like,
Oh no
take
no
a
no
seat,
no.
please. I am Chris Hansen.
No, I did have Gargura pillow at one point, but that was mostly because that's seriously the only body pillow I could find. I had, you had to make this one for me, so that's kind of my pay for coming on. I got my body pillow of a real waifu.
I show. Yeah. So yeah, and okay, so everyone, you'll be able to find Aki's Twitch down in the description below. Check him out. Comment, whatever. Next, for an announcement for next week, we will be interviewing a freelance graphic designer and traveling amnesiac named Meep. I believe on the 26th of this month. Same time, 10 a.m. And yeah, I will be seeing y'all later. Thank you for coming. Bye. See you. Bye. What about you, Aki? Are you going to say goodbye?
Bye-bye.
Say goodbye. Say it like you mean it. Now.
Hey!
That's a. What does A mean? A is a greeting. Why are you greeting them when we're leaving them?
I'm from the South, dude. A means everything.
A means everything. I'm from the North. A means hi.
No, don't.
Yes, it does.
No, don't.
Yeah. No?
It means what you mean it to me.
Chat. Chat, please help support my argument right here by bullying Aki and convincing him through sheer force that A means hello, not goodbye or whatever it means. Give me your power. Give me your power.
No, because I mean, you can't really scream by. You can't be like, ah,